Eagles fans, what's good? What's going on? It's about that time. It's your boy Tone DeShields II. Y'all here for another live stream from Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. First things first, I must say, that was an extremely entertaining game. That was one of the most entertaining games we've been a part of this season. One of, if you think about, the Baltimore game, the Pittsburgh game, those two games were pretty exciting. But this game was really exciting, man. I really enjoyed it. We lost. I didn't I didn't think, these past few games, I didn't think we had the best shot. So, but nonetheless, we came in, we played hard. That's one thing I can say. We got 6 people in the live stream so far. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all so much for being here. But there were some bright spots in this game that I really enjoyed. And you guys are probably wondering why I'm not angry, why I'm not animated, why I'm not all, because this season is a wash. It's done. Our season is done. It's been done for quite some time. The writing's been on the wall, and we never had full control of over our destiny in the first place. We never did. What's going on? Eagle has landed. How you feeling, man? I do agree. I agree, man. I definitely think Doug had an issue in certain spots. I definitely still think Doug has an issue play calling. But you guys, this is going to be a call-in show. I'm going to pin the link very soon. We lost to the Cardinals 33-26. Like I said, it was a very entertaining game nonetheless. And Jalen Hurts played extremely, extremely well. Streaky, but very well. I got to give him that. 24 for 44, 55%. He aired it out. I got to respect it. This actually was a better game for him versus, compared to the last game. His last game's passing numbers don't even compare to this game. Now, the accuracy is about the same. The accuracy is still, shaky in the 50s, but he threw for way more yards. He threw 2 more touchdowns, and he also rushed for a touchdown as well, averaging about 6 yards. Well, yeah, he ran well. 11 rushes, 63 yards. He ran well. I gotta admit, Jalen Hurts looked good. He looked real good. Yo, Joey, my guy, how you feeling, man? He looked good. He looks really good. He looks really good, man. He looks really good. I can't lie. He looks really good. He still has to work on his accuracy, but everything else, with everything that he's able to create, he just for some reason he just plays like the game is never over. He's never swayed by the scoreboard. He just plays hard through and through, and he played so well. He made timely throws, made some plays with his legs. Dude looked good. He gave us a lot to build on in his development. We definitely got to see more from him, but I believe we have seen enough to the point where, as though, I don't see Carson Wentz thinking he can survive another season of this. That's how I look at it. And before we even get into, the whole Carson Wentz thing, that's going to be later on for the call-ins, but I want to really bask in this moment. Jalen Hurts had a really good game. I got to give him that. He was sacked 6 times. He wasn't protected as well. So that was that. Quez Watkins. What about Quez, you guys? Let's talk about Quez. He popped out. I really enjoyed Quez's performance. 32-yard touchdown. Come on now. I'm so glad Quez got his shine. I'm so glad he got his shine. Now, I will admit, Jalen Hurts did cause that safety, and that should have never happened. That was a bad decision. But he bounced back. He showed poise and redeemed himself. Again, Quez Watkins, man, what a hell of a spark. He set things off for us. He definitely set things off for us, man. Like, if anything, we have to look forward to next season, and I'm seeing a lot of bright spots. Quez Watkins, seeing a lot of bright spots. Jalen Hurts, Jalen Reagor, seeing a lot of bright spots. Greg Ward popped out today. Now, he didn't have the yards, but the touchdowns, 2 big red zone catches, huge, major red zone catches. And he caught them when things were breaking down. I can't be mad at this loss. I can't be entirely upset about it. The team came out to play. Defense, they gave up some things, but they showed determination and grit by causing and forcing turnovers. They forced Kyler Murray to fumble the ball twice and throw an interception. I got to give defense their respect when it comes to their version of playmaking. I got to give them their respect. I have to. So much needed to go right for us to win this game. And I just don't think we were built to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Think about the Cardinals. Think about how many mistakes they made. And think about how perfect we needed to play to win this game. Think about that. We had to play perfect to win this game. We have to play perfect to win this game. Think about how many mistakes the Cardinals made. 3 turnovers by Kyler Murray. 3. And they all led to scores for us. So just think about us making similar mistakes. The penalties, so many things that went against us. But I do agree that we saw a lot of flashes that we can build off of and take it to our next season. I think we're going to look so good. Next year just because of the power of youth, the energy behind Hurts. Because I'm going to be honest, I think Carson's going to get traded. I think that's what's going to end up happening, man. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, you can't expect anything less. Based off of the turmoil he's experienced, you can't expect anything less. So at this point, I think from this point forward, we need to prepare to move on from Carson Wentz. We need to prepare to not even mention him anymore when it comes to this team. It's official. They've moved on. Two games that Jalen Hurts played, and he played very well against 2 formidable opponents. He beat the number 1 defense, and he also beat a very up-and-coming electric Arizona Cardinals team that plays very fast on both sides of the ball. Almost beat them. Came down to a possession. I got to give that man his respect. I got to give him his respect. The only way we get better from here as an organization is if we change the guard. We have to change who leads at the helm. We need to change who makes the decisions when it comes to our roster. We have to change it. We have to. Howie Roseman cannot be in charge of personnel anymore. I'm never for tanking, but it seems like the only now you know what? Based off of the way Jalen Hurts has performed these first 2 games, I can see him beating the Dallas Cowboys. I can see him beating the Washington Reds, the Washington football team. I can see him beating them. I can really see it. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. But I think what's going to end up happening, we're definitely going to have a top 6, top 7 pick. And, you know, Travis Fulgham didn't touch the field until the very end of the game. Very frustrating. Don't understand. This is very annoying. I understand Alshon Jeffrey. You know, he was very disruptive today. He caused a lot of pass interferences, you know, on the defense, which led to us moving down the field more. And he caught crucial deep balls. I got to give him his respect, but I will never ever be comfortable with him running go routes. I will never be comfortable with it. You can't convince me. I will never be comfortable with him running go routes. He's not fast enough. I know he has the size to beat guys up top, but I like him running out routes, you know, slants, you know, post routes, you know, that forces him to go up and get it, not go routes that kind of have the, you know, the ball has to go over his back shoulder, you know, over the DB, and he kind of has to beat him, you know, with release and speed. I don't trust Alshon Jeffrey's release and speed, but I do trust him. I do trust his release in a slant. I do trust his release in an out route, in a comeback route. You know, I trust his release in those inside routes. I do trust him on that. You know, the possession routes, but not go routes. Not my thing. But he was productive today. I got to give that man his respect. I have to give him his respect. I have to. You know, and I also got to give the respect to the DBs. Even though DeAndre Hopkins did his thing, I still feel like they did their best, and it could have been way worse. It could have been way worse, man. I know Kyler Murray threw for over 400 yards, but it could have been way worse. It could have been way worse, you guys. But I'm about to put down that call in. We're about to have a call in, you guys. Don't you guys worry. Link is coming very, very soon. All right, that link is coming right now. All right, the link is out. The link is out. Now I'm about to pin it to make sure we all good to go. Woo! Damn. I just looked down for a second. All right, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. First, we're going to have my man, Lenny D, coming into the show. My guy. Talk to me, man. How you feeling about this game?
First of all, both teams performed really great. You know, shout out to I'm not the type of person that be sour over losing or whatever. If the team beat us, the team beat us. So shout out to the Cardinals, for pulling off the W, much needed W for them. Unfortunately we took a loss or whatever. But Jalen Hurts answered questions that that I wanted to know. Because against the Saints, you saw a lot more running than you did passing. In this game, he answered that question for me. Can he win it with his arm? in the firefight, and he was doing good. He did good today. But this game right here just goes to show you that, like, that just goes to show you. I'm sorry about that. That goes to show you that the young guys have a lot to prove. You know what I'm saying? You seen the defense, like that people say with Jalen Hurts, coming putting the sparks to the offense, which is fine. But how about the defense too today?
Yo, the defense made plays.
The defense actually made plays.
They was very fast to the ball.
Yeah.
Very fast to the ball. I got to give the defense their respect today, man. Even though it was kind of shaky earlier on in that first quarter, but regardless, I think defense managed to leverage out the game, and they were very, very, very fast. They forced turnovers. They were quick. Like I gotta give defense their respect, man. I have to. Jalen Hurts definitely made me more of a believer, but I want to see more from him. I definitely want to see more, but I definitely see he is capable of playing in big moments. And he's capable of driving the ball down the field because we drove that ball past our 50-yard line. We had a chance. It was just no timeouts. The clock was against us. We had some things to fight against. But I really feel like Jalen Hurts is showing so far that I'm capable. Now, just based off of these two games that he's won against the number one defense and he's lost against a very electric Arizona Cardinals defense that plays fast on both sides of the ball. Based off those two performances, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see why we can't beat Washington, and I don't see why we can't beat Dallas.
Yeah,
I really don't. I know Dallas is playing a little better. Yeah. I know Washington's playing a little better. They have more confidence, but at the end of the day, they have Dwayne Haskins at quarterback, and I think we have a better chance against that. And based on Jalen Hurts' ability against these teams, I don't see him playing down to the competition. I see him being very impactful.
And that brings me up to my next point about like quarterback. I'm not trying to make it about wins because we know it ain't about wins. It's about, the Eagles overall. And Jalen Hurts was the quarterback leading the Eagles today. But that's the thing, before, of course you could see the chat, but before we came in here, there's a lot of people saying, Hurts can take over the keys. My thing about it is we got to be 100% sure is that's the right move. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm an Eagles fan first. So if we go with Jalen Hurts, I'm behind him 100%. So and if we move on for wins, that's fine. But we got to make sure because we could say we want whoever we want. We could say me and you could say we want Wentz. Other people could say we want Jalen Hurts. I mean, other people say they want Jalen Hurts. It don't matter. At the end of the day, it's gonna be an executive decision. You know what I'm saying? And once we make that move, there's no going back. You feel me? So it's like Hurts played two great games against two, great teams. And, he's battled well. He's either won or almost won the game or tied or whatever. So my thing is Hurts is real good. He answered the questions, I had about him, like, could he throw in a firefight? Because, our receivers lack the ability to get open.
Yeah, for sure. But let's be real, though. Also, if you think about it, he drove that field, tied that game up, right? Now, if defense gets a stop, if defense gets a stop, then at that point we get the ball back, game tied, we drive down the field goal.
Yeah,
we win. So at that point, defense needed to hold up, but they couldn't. But that's okay. But we saw a lot from this, from this young core, especially guys like Quez Watkins and Greg Ward. Greg Ward just so reliable. Quez Watkins just came in and sparked the offense immediately.
That's a guy. When we drafted him, I was so excited. That's who I wanted.
I was excited. He had one of the fastest 40 times in the draft. You saw his speed immediately. The moment he caught that ball and he made that spin, he took off. It was no hesitation. None.
And another thing is, that's why I say, like, drafting and signing good talent matters because all the guys that, we could have possibly had came back and bit us, like with DeAndre Hopkins, how he caught the ball. You know what I'm saying? You got Jordan Hicks, who was over there making plays. Hassan Riddick, who was linked to be traded to us. So we got to get the right talent around who's ever, on defense or offense. You know what I'm saying? So we lack that right now. Like you see the young guys stepping up as they should, but we just lack the adequate talent. Like if we make mistakes, we ain't got the talent to keep, to how can I say it? Like we ain't got the talent that if we make a mistake, we'll be all right.
Exactly. I was talking about that prior before I had the call-ins. I was saying that if you pay attention to this game, one of the biggest things you should have took away was the fact that the Cardinals are built for tough. And what I mean by that is think about how many mistakes and the kind of mistakes they made and what their mistakes led to. And they still managed to squeak out the win.
Yeah.
Whereas though a team like us, we're now built to make mistakes. We have to play mistake-free football in order to win. We don't have the talent to have big 50, 60-yard bombs, to a DeAndre Hopkins. You know what I mean? We don't have that guy necessarily yet that's definitively that guy that you can go to. There are many variables that makes that the Arizona Cardinals significantly better. And, being able to survive when things get super hot is one of the biggest, attributes you need to have as a team and organization, being able to survive, when things are not going your way and you're turning the ball over. Your quarterback is, he was battling, but he battled. And I got to give him respect. But, D, my guy, thank you so much for coming on, my man.
Before I go, this game reminds me of the Ravens game where we fought like heck to try to, squeak out a win or tie the game or whatever. This just reminds me of that. Right. That's why I say, like, we got to get the right talent around who's ever at quarterback, whether it's Hurts or Wentz, it's 2 games. So whatever decision we make in the offseason, which is not too far from here or whatever, if we make it to the playoffs or not, we got to make sure it's the right one so it won't come back and bite us.
Big time. And on that note, man, Lenny D, thank you so much for coming on to the live stream, my guy. Everyone, if you haven't already, make sure y'all subscribe to Lenny D's content. He does the Philly sports content like me as well, Eagles content. He's up and coming. He's up and coming like myself. And we trying to grind, man. And everybody eats like we always say, man. Lenny, take care, my guy.
You too, bro.
All right. Okay, next in the live stream, we bring in the kid, the one and only Brady, the Eagles fan. Was good. How you feeling, man? Talk to me. What's on your mind?
On my mind is actually, I think we obviously took the L, but I think it was a W for us because we seen a lot of Jalen Hurts and we put up a good fight against a good team. And
I agree.
If you go back to the chat, and it was just an overall good game. So I think I am not so mad at this L. Still mad because I wish we got the W. Like, I'm not as mad as I would be. Our defense played okay. Commerce still had like 400 yards, but our defense still played okay. And I think our team, like, our offense, Jalen Hurts had pretty good. Quez Watkins is the man. Quez Watkins. 3 receptions, 40 yards, and a TD. And when we drafted him, I was so excited.
I told you, man.
Would be
he was one of the fastest guys in that draft.
Yep, and I knew eventually he was gonna break out, and this is a breakout game for him. 3 receptions, 40 yards, and that 32-yard TD. That was a really nice.
Yo, you saw his speed.
Yeah,
his speed is very real. You saw it. You saw how real the speed was.
Yeah. And like Lenny said, this game does remind me of the Ravens game. We were down by a lot. We came back, but we still lost.
Yeah, man. It seems like we always get just close enough, but we can't seem to close the deal. Jalen Hurts looked really good, man. Like he battled. He still has to work on his accuracy. Yeah. But Jalen Hurts really came out and he led this
showed what he could do.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot more could have been done. Especially if especially if we were a better coach team. There were times where Doug Peterson blew my mind with certain decisions.
Yeah, if we were coached better, we would obviously be better. I think our talent on this team, we have a lot of talent. Our team is if we had a good coaching staff like a normal team, I think we would go like 10-6, 11-5. And Greg Ward, he had two, not one but two clutch catches, and he had that one TD, and Greg Ward had a pretty good game too. All our receivers had a pretty good game. Even Jeffrey had a good game.
Right.
Jeffrey had a good game. Got a lot of clutch pass interference calls on Patrick Peterson. I'm surprised they put him on Jeffrey and not a younger receiver who they're gonna target more, like maybe Greg Ward or Quez Balkins or something.
Yeah, they probably put him on Jeffrey because he was the bigger name. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
You know how that goes, man. This was a really good game. I know we lost, but you saw a lot. You saw a lot. And we have a lot to hang our hat on, man. Is there anything you want to talk about before I get the next person on?
I want to say my score prediction. I said between 7-24 we lost, but I also want to say one more thing. Our team played really good. Also, Jalen Hurts is going to make it in the Hall of Fame. Jalen Hurts is making it to the Hall of Fame. I don't care. Mark my words. He's going to make it to the Hall of Fame. He's gonna. I don't care, bro.
After 2 games?
Yeah, people might say he got to work on his accuracy. He does, but after that, he's guaranteed Hall of Fame. Guaranteed Hall of Fame. I don't care what anybody says. Hall of Fame is Jalen Hurts. You already know when I get that Jalen Hurts jersey, I'm going to be rocking it.
Oh, man. You know what, Brady? On that note, my guy, thank you so much for coming on to the live stream. You always come through and show me mad love, man. Thank you. Nope. You take care.
Eagles.
My guy.
Fly, go fly.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. Good kid, man. Real good kid. Infamous, what's going on, my guy?
What's up, Tone?
How you feeling, man?
I'm good.
What's on your mind? I know you got a lot to talk about.
All right, so first of all, Hurts played. First of all, before we get into Hurts, that defense though. We had Rodney McLeod out, Slay out, Fletcher Cox was out for a little bit. Josh Sweat went out for the whole game. My fault. So for having 3 turnovers, which I don't know the last time the Eagles had 3 turnovers in one game.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time.
So it's but my whole thing is, so I think Hurts 3 touchdowns came from Hurts. He had 1 rushing, right?
Yeah.
So Hurts 3 touchdowns came from the defense, and a lot of people are not acknowledging.
Oh yeah. They forced the turnovers.
Exactly. So big shout out to them because we had the ball a lot more than the Cardinals did. So big shout out to the defense for having 3 turnovers. My whole thing about Hurts is from here. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. He hasn't convinced me because it's only 2 games, but he looks promising, right?
Right.
It's right now to me. I don't care if he throws 800 more yards in the last 2 games. To me, it's if he can do it consistently. There's so many quarterbacks throughout history who's done these 2 games, these 5 games.
Like Jimmy G.
Well, here's the thing about Jimmy G, and I think it was his defense and his their offense was pretty good at the time, and they ran the ball a lot. I think it was more.
What I'm saying is remember when Jimmy G was in New England?
Yeah,
he played in that small sample size.
Yep.
And then that small sample size got him that huge contract in San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Tim Tebow was he didn't get a huge contract. Tim Tebow was the same. What's his name was the same. He been hurt a little this year, but they're gonna draft a quarterback. Minshew was the same.
Oh yeah.
Foles was the same with the whole Super Bowl run. There's so many, and here's the thing: they have tape on Foles, so that right there should just tell you. Dude, when you're not game planning against a guy, and then when the guy doesn't play all year and he randomly comes in, it don't matter. Listen, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Hurts proved you guys wrong. They had game tape," and I've said this before the game. If I have game tape on you, that doesn't mean I know how to stop you. That means I have an idea. Now, does it actually work? We would have to wait to see. Whatever the game plan for the Cardinals was to stop Hurts, it didn't work. Here's why Hurts is so dangerous. you can't run man on our offense no more. The reason why is because if you run man, then Hurts is gonna run, or he's gonna be a designed run play. If you play zone or soft covered zone more, then he's just gonna dot you up. That's why he's so dangerous on that offense. But my whole point is, I feel like when Hurts does this more consistently, I don't see him a Russell Wilson. I see him as like a shorter Cam Newton because like he'll hit you. Hurts will
Oh
lower
yeah,
his,
he's not afraid to get physical. He'll definitely put his shoulder pad into you.
and you never see Wilson put his shoulder pads down. That's why I think he's more of a Cam Newton because
Yeah, I see what
Cam
you're
Newton.
saying.
I
I
mean,
see.
he's like a faster Cam Newton, or you could say, I mean, if it's not Cam Newton, you could. Some people say Deshaun Watson. I disagree because Deshaun Watson is a lot more faster. He's more elusive. But my whole
Yeah.
thing is, what do we do with Wentz? We trade him. He's gonna bite us in the butt. But at the same time, if he can't be great here, what's the point of having him?
Right.
I still think he's gonna be a good quarterback, just may not here. He
Right.
may and if dude and another thing I want to see from Hurts, I want to see Hurts run a traditional offense. This offense was widespread half the game, which is usually a college formation. I promise you, Doug
Yo,
looked at.
funny you said that, right? I was talking to one of the old heads that I was watching the game with, because me and my pop normally invite people over, right? So he was complaining about the fact that Hurts was in the shotgun all day. And I'm like, listen, it's a reason for that. It's a reason you see him in the shotgun, and it's a reason you don't see him in the I formation. The reason you don't see it is because that's not what he ran in college. That's not what he's comfortable doing. Trust and believe. It's not as easy as you think to put your fucking hand under that setter's ass and drop back and you know what I'm saying? Like take 5 or 6 steps, and size up the defense. That's not easy for all quarterbacks.
That's what they did for Wentz.
That's what separates, but what I'm saying, that's what separates a lot of these quarterbacks that make it in the NFL and that don't, because they aren't able to line up under center. You can't shotgun all day.
Yep. Because eventually they're gonna figure it out.
Exactly.
They're not stupid. They got a job there for a reason, unless you're like Press Taylor, who got a job because his friend. But my whole thing is, when I need to see Hurts playing a more traditional offense, and about the accuracy. First, let's get to the sacks. He had 6, I think. Yeah, 6 sacks.
6 times, yep.
2 of them were not his fault. The rest he held it over 3 seconds. So, but again, and I'm not gonna blame him because he's looking to make a play.
Right.
If he's capable, the dude fumbled the ball, picked it back up, and threw it to Goddard.
Right.
If he's capable,
yeah.
If he's capable, let him do it. Let him play. Don't see. This is the difference. If Wentz tried making a play this game, right, then everybody be like, you're holding the ball too long. This and that. Let him play. Let him be a playmaker. Let Jalen Hurts playmake. I don't care if he got sacked 6 times, right? Here's the biggest thing. We lost. It's like Tone, I told you. I literally said it. I said the only way we win this game is we score at least 38 or something in the 30s. I said because it's going to be like the Cowboys game. Our defense played a lot better than what I felt they were going to play. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, they did. They were spotty, but like whenever they made mistakes, they made up for it with forcing turnovers.
Exactly. So my whole thing is, and I've been calling for Jaquette since the day he replaced Slay. I said put him on the opposite side of Slay. Now here's the thing, that touchdown to DeAndre Hopkins, I think that's where we needed Slay. I don't think Slay would have let that touchdown where like Hopkins just got grabbed it off his helmet type stuff.
Yeah. It was like it was definitely moments where I was like, "Ooh, we're missing Slay."
Yeah, exactly. So
like, it was definitely moments.
But when if you're Jaquette, I call him Jaquetti. If you're Jaquette, right? If you're learning under Slay while a rookie developing, dude, come on now. And then Jim Schwartz did really good for what he has. The problem, and here I've been saying this for the last couple of years, Jim Schwartz will be one of the best defensive coordinators if he was consistent. He is so inconsistent, it bothers me.
Right.
So
consistency is what makes you great.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing to the Wentz haters. You know the story about how they think Wentz 2017 was his only good year, blah, blah, blah. He caught flash in the pan. How are you going to say 2017 was his only good year, but Jalen Hurts had 2 good games, 2.5 good games, if you want to count the Green Bay one, and you're ready to crown him as franchise quarterback? why is he safe from the falling off from the top of the hill type stuff if Wentz did, right? So
Right.
my whole thing is that's why I don't think it's a flash in the pan. You don't combine 400 yards, have 4 touchdowns, zero. Now he did have 2 fumbles that recovered, and then he did throw a drop pick, but he had 0 turnovers like that were actually like lost.
Right.
He had 400 yards total and
No,
4 touchdowns. I
no
don't think you
interception.
Personally, I don't think you can get worse than that. I don't think that's just a one-time thing. I don't think people like I don't know who thrown 400, 300 something yards and then just falls off out of nowhere after like the next couple seasons. I think Hurts will be good. But
Right.
my whole thing is, why is Hurts a exception to versus Wentz? It's the same thing for me. I don't think Wentz 2017 was a flash in the pan. I feel like if
Right.
he goes to a different team, he's gonna bite us in the butt. And who knows, dude? Who knows? And I've said this, if Wentz goes to a different team and sucks, then oh well, I was wrong. I don't care. I was wrong. I'm not.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not tripping.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, okay, cool.
I'll
Like,
be happy.
he actually
We
wasn't
made
good.
the right decision. Like
All right, right. I'm an Eagles fan. All right, we ended up making the right decision. We at the end of the day, we got our Super Bowl out of it. So
yeah, we got what we could have.
let's keep it real.
Mhm.
Wentz went 11-2, gave us the alley oop to Super Bowl. And Nick Foles, he dunked it, and we gotta respect the game.
Here's
Go ahead.
another thing. You remember how people mentioned his record, Doug's record with Wentz,
Yeah,
and they love the record thing. Well, let me tell you something. Do you know what Doug's record is in December though?
he barely loses.
They barely. I think he has like 3 losses. Well, I think this was his 4th. So my whole thing is December. He just goes. He just does. I don't know what he does. I think it's because every December his job is on the line almost. But
That's funny.
but here's the biggest thing. You saw how in the first 3 drives was 3 and outs, or the first 2, I forget.
Yeah,
Dude, the play calling from when we started looked a lot more traditional to when
hey,
we
Anthony,
finished.
real quick, I'm gonna bring Lindy in this conversation, okay?
Okay.
Lindy in zone, my guy. What's going on, man? I brought you in here with Infamous, man. We're gonna make this conversation a little bit more interesting.
All right, no big deal. What's going on?
Oh shoot, he got the little. So he got the. Do you hear that too? It's like a what is it called? It's like a stutter like that on my audio. Like once you start talking, it's gonna go away. But like for a little bit, I won't be able to hear you. Lindy.
That's weird.
Oh no, I hear it now. You're cool now.
Okay, cool. All right,
Okay,
good.
okay. All right, go ahead.
All right, what do we got?
Oh, but yeah, man, like, Jalen Hurts played very well. He did what he could based on the situation. Over 400 yards total, 4 touchdowns. 3 of those touchdowns came in the first half. Like, we got to give him some respect. Like, that was, he's gonna get better though. And we were talking about the whole concept of moving on from Carson Wentz and trading them. And at the end of the day, there's kind of like a double standard. Whole situation with playmaking, and in the least you'll allow playmakers, to have, when holding on to the ball and so on and so forth. Some people got their own feelings about it, but at this point, I believe Carson Wentz, he will be traded, and I believe Hurts has something. We just have to see what it develops into.
That's the thing about the whole first half thing. He came into the second half with a 63 completion percentage. Mind you, that's not the greatest, but that's a lot better than 55. So my whole point is like Hurts in the second half is nowhere as near as good as he is in the first.
So
That kind of gives me the kind of he's like good in the first, kind of disappears in the third, and then if the game's closer and the game's on the line, he comes back in the fourth. It kind of like Dak. It reminds me of Dak. Dak does the same exact thing. Dak does good in the first, then he kind of disappears a little bit, then he comes back at the very end and then drags his team to a win. Well, they only had 1 win, but type stuff.
Well, I think for me, when it comes down to the first half, it was more predicated on the play calling because if we watch the first quarter, that was straight up putrid. I don't know if it's the first 15 scripted plays or if it's Doug's play calling, but for whatever reason, and this doesn't really necessarily make sense to Jalen Hurts' skill set, he was very run heavy at times. Like he would go 3 straight plays of a long play when you look at Arizona's defense, they defend the run better than the pass. So I don't know what Doug was thinking there for one. Like you go down Arizona's going to come to this game and they're going to be very aggressive. They're going to punish our offensive line because they know that we've been through 13 different rotations in 14 games.
That's
so
an NFL record too.
Punish the offensive line there, and it's like you see that they put Jalen Hurts in a bad position, intentional grounding for the safety. We go down like 16-0. So I think if we executed better in the first half, that we would eventually won this football game. But I can't necessarily be hard on Jim Schwartz for this game, and I'll tell you as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So he's working with it's like putting a Band-Aid on a shotgun wound. That's how our secondary is right now. With guys like Michael Jaquette, Kevon Seymour, Kayvon Wallace seen a lot more snaps. Marcus Epps seen more snaps. TJ Edwards is coming back off of injury. What we know with Jim Schwartz as a defensive coordinator, what we know about him is the idea that in order for his scheme to work, it's predicated on the defensive line doing their job. For them to only account for one sack is, to me, I'm sorry, but it's unacceptable. So in order for the rest of his defense to execute properly, the defensive line has to get pressure on the quarterback. Yeah, they were there, but at the end of the day, they didn't do enough to be able to let the secondary work. I mean, 406 passing yards. What are you going to expect with a secondary like this? And let me get to this. Nickel Roby-Coleman, what are you doing giving up that touchdown to Larry Fitzgerald? What was that?
He didn't turn his head
to the ball. Why couldn't you turn your head to the ball just at least a second sooner? Play the ball instead of the receiver because you had him at the back pylon in the corner.
You had him dead to right
and deflect it down.
No. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Darius Slay even said Jim Schwartz has his corners play the receiver, not the ball.
Off coverage, yeah.
So do you blame him for that, or do you blame Jim Schwartz for telling him to play the receiver and not the ball?
I gotta blame Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the problem with Jim Schwartz. So when you tell your corner he's doing his job, he's doing what he's told to do.
Yeah. So
I can't really get mad at the player. Like, that's probably why Sidney Jones and them were probably so bad. Shoot, that's probably why Will Parks. That's another thing. Will Parks is playing exceptional well for the Denver right now. I think one of the safeties are injured. He had a sack last week. I don't know really what he did, but I haven't heard anything like bad about him. He's been doing okay. So we could use a Will Parks right now. I'm gonna be honest. We could use a Will Parks. So my whole thing is, if you're gonna blame Nicole Roby-Coleman, I think you have to blame Jim Schwartz more than you blame Nicole Roby-Coleman. Now, yes, Nicole Roby-Coleman should have turned around anyway, because if you look at some of Slay's plays, he turns around regardless.
Right, yeah. And that's what separates the great cornerbacks, the ones who know when to deviate from what they're told. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong. See, you have the kids that when you tell them to give them an assignment, they color within the lines. We have those who color outside of the lines, but they give you a Picasso. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like Darius Slay, like you said, Jim Schwartz, he trains those guys to play the body, play the receiver. But like you said, Darius Slay knows when to turn his head. We've seen it. We've seen Darius Slay turn his head and play the ball. We've seen it many times. Yep. But it seems like these, I don't want to say inexperienced, but these less skilled, these less ambidextrous cornerbacks who aren't capable of doing more than one thing at one time. It seems like they're only capable of sticking to the script. You know what I'm saying? And that's what separates great cornerbacks from just the average ones. That's what separates guys like Jalen Ramsey, from guys like Russell Douglas. You know
who played the ball? Michael Jaquette played the ball.
Right, I noticed that.
Jaquette played the ball today.
I saw a lot of pass deflections from his side.
Mm-hmm. So my whole thing is, I think that's more of a Jim Schwartz. Now, I think if Jim Schwartz, I don't think Jim Schwartz should stay another year. He's too inconsistent. Stuff like not playing the ball is what kills us.
Yeah, but I think at this point in time, he's been with us for about 6 years, something like that, 6, 7 years. I don't know, maybe something like that. And I think it's about that time to move on.
It's kind of like the Andy Reid thing.
Yeah, no love lost. You got a Super Bowl out of it. You're a champion. You know what I'm saying? Even though your defense allowed, 38, 33 points to Tom Brady, but regardless, that season, the defense had to do their jobs when it mattered, and you did it. And I got to give you respect, Jim Schwartz. But maybe it's time to just move on. Change the pace. I think you know what, we've been so focused on the players when these past few years when it comes to like changes. We need to focus on the staff, the minds, the people who are coming up with the brain trust. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about that. What Lindy and y'all both mentioned. Did y'all realize how when the offense was really stale and some people were calling for Hurts, like my uncle specifically was calling for Hurts. I was out. Remember, I was at my niece's house for the birthday thing. So my whole thing is, did you see how different the play calling was from what didn't work to what started to work? We started going back to what worked last week. We started hitting the 5-and-out routes. Then when they started stacking the box because we weren't throwing the ball deep, then we threw it down to Alshon Jeffrey, threw it down to other people. So my whole thing is. And one biggest thing I've seen since Hurts has been playing about play calling is we finally get what we wanted, which was let the playmakers play make. We did it for Quez Watkins. He's a playmaking guy. He threw a screen. He did a nice behind spin and just took off.
To Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders got off.
Exactly. We let the playmakers make plays. That was the biggest thing. That was the biggest.
For your first career touchdown, man, that was gorgeous.
That was beautiful.
They had a jailbreak screen to the left.
Beautiful. That was the fact that where he, if you notice, when he caught that ball, I don't think anyone without that level of speed would get out of that situation.
No,
because when he caught it, he had to contort his body and spin, and he still maintained speed.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't lose any speed.
He started jogging at the end.
That was an instinct play. That was an instinct play because it was a gutsy play call on 3rd and 20. I'll give him that. But you call a jailbreak screen with one of your fastest receivers. You take it to the left side. Now it's funny because Quez sees that he has like 4 blockers in front of him, but the rest of the defensive line for the Cardinals, they're all coming down. So instead of following the blockers, that's an instinct decision.
He trusted his legs.
That's all instincts.
Yep.
So he just takes the quick turn, and he knows that he has the speed to get down the sideline. And this is what, a 6th-round pick that we're talking about here. A 6th-round pick as a rookie. That's his second catch. That's only his second catch, and it was a 32-yard touchdown. I mean, you got to let these guys play.
Exactly. Now here's another thing. I want to get back to the play calling. When we did not throw. Every touchdown we had today we had at least 3 rollouts in that drive. At least, could have been more, could have been less, but we had at least 3 rollouts. Hurts on the on the run is very good when he throws the ball. Now he did have one missed one where he threw it through that one above. Yeah. So he had a couple.
Yeah.
So, but but he'll get better. He'll get better throwing out the pocket. So my whole thing is. We've rolled out actually Hurts more in these last 2 games and a half more than we have since I think it was the game after the bye. So whoever we played, I think it was either the Giants or the game after that.
We played the Giants after the bye.
Yeah. So since the Giants game till Wentz got benched, we've rolled out more in the last 2 games and a half since that time period with Wentz. So my whole thing is, what happened?
A lot more motion.
Exactly, a lot. So my whole thing is, yes, the play calling. I feel like this is what Doug wanted to run, but he couldn't really run it because Carson Wentz is fat. Now, part of that is because they told him to become fat because they didn't want him to get hurt. But same point is like, then cut Ty. Don't sign him to $100-something million contract.
That's my thing, man. Like you decided to pay him. If he wasn't the quarterback that you really wanted to fit this, don't pay him.
Wait, real quick. Did you hear what Doug said in press conference? He said, "Dude, wait. Hurts had 400 combined yards, 4 touchdowns. You know what he said? He said, I don't know. I have to look at the tape to see who starts next week." I don't think that's his decision. I honestly don't think it's his decision. There's no way your quarterback.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. That's how I know. That's how I know he's not making decisions on this roster because a response like that. Hey, first of all, anybody that's making decisions is going to say, "What do you think?" Duh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's clearly not making the decision. He's clearly.
I mean, we've known almost week 5 that of the amount of influence that Howie Roseman has in who starts football games. And we talk about and when we talk about the rollouts, how Jalen Hurts just has to come into his own and everything, and some of his throws were high. Let's remember now, especially when Hurts is thrown from the pocket. Let's remember, Hurts is only about 6'1", 225, where Carson Wentz is 6'5". Carson has the wingspan to be able to throw over defensive linemen or linebackers who are trying to get their hands up and to deflect the ball. It's a little
it's Carson's
difficult for Jalen.
In all fairness, a lot of Carson's throws get better down the line.
Yeah,
but that's another thing that could be a good and a bad, because now you can add that, but then Hurts is 6'1", so he's a smaller target to hit in the pocket versus Wentz when he's trying to move out the pocket. It's a lot easier to tackle him. So I mean, again, it comes down to what do you want your offense to do. Now, here's the thing: I don't think he's going to the Colts. I don't think he's going to the Patriots. I think he's gonna end up going to the Steelers. I just that's who I think he's going to, and the reason why I say that is because I don't think they're keeping Big Ben. They have the money because half their team is on rookie contracts. They Chase Claypool, Juju is probably gonna end up leaving next year. So I don't know where he's gonna go. So
Pittsburgh, if he stays in Pennsylvania, that's gonna haunt the fuck out of us.
Who? Oh, you know. Here's the thing: if Hurts, I mean, if Wentz does great, I feel like I wouldn't be mad because I like the dude, but I feel like if Wentz did bad somewhere else, oh my God, the Wentz haters would be coming. I told you so. He is so trash. I feel like the Wentz haters love proving their point more than actually like winning. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's kind of weird a little bit.
Yeah. Like, so they never come up here, so I'm not even tripping about it. So it's cool. It's whatever.
And let's acknowledge a little bit on how interactive Carson was on the sidelines. Chilling with Jalen Hurts, high-fiving all of his teammates. Just that positive attitude that he continues to have, even through all the adversity that's happening. I mean, man,
he's trying to be. He's definitely trying to be. But I think the human element. When you try to just think about the human element of it all. You're supposed to be the man at your job, and they just gave you the big deal, like that hey, we believe in you, and all of a sudden they bring in this new young hot shot, and all of a sudden he ends up taking your job, and you're supposed to train him also.
I don't know.
How does that make you feel a little bit? And I'm not saying he's over there being vindictive, he's preying on his downfall, but Carson wants to be on that field. Carson would much rather be, dying by the sword than, sit on the sideline twiddling his thumb.
Yeah. I don't know that I don't know a single Eagles player that was a young talent or was a little younger that left Philly and became like a bust. Like every guy that left Philly, they've been like old, so they weren't good regardless. But like I don't know the last young guy who was still a young guy who left Philly and like was just bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about that because even when DJ left Philly, he went to
he was still good.
He was still good in Tampa, very productive.
He was good. He was good. The year before he came to us,
and with Washington, he was good. Washington.
Exactly, he was good with every team. Then he comes here. That I always wanted to hit on this for whenever I'm going to call it. I think a lot of it is Doug and Howie, because look, Doug. Okay, Lane Johnson, for example. They said, okay, if Lane Johnson decides he wants to play, then we'll let him play. Jason Peters, for example, they let him play with his toe. I think they're rushing these guys or letting these guys make the decision. I feel like they're football players, right? They're going to want to play. If they have an injury, they're going to try to play through the injury regardless. I feel like a lot of the stuff why we're always getting these nicked up injuries is because they let the players let the decision. Do you want to come back? How do you feel this week? Versus like the doctor saying, yo, no, you're not coming back this week. Come back next week type stuff. Because every time, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm saying right. Yeah, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah,
Lane carried on too long with that ankle.
Lane was pushing it.
He should have shut it down.
Because Doug even said it. Doug said in his press conference, if he wants to play, then he'll play. Like, no, that's not how that works. Like, if I break my leg and I want to walk, I'm not going to walk because my doctor said not to walk type stuff. So I think that's a lot because I don't even think D-Jax was this injured with the other teams he was with before he came here.
Yeah, these past 2 years have been rough.
Yeah, so my whole I don't know. I don't see us being I want the draft pick. I don't want us to win any more games. I don't care. I'm Team Tank. Y'all can officially count me in. I'm Team Tank.
Oh man.
I'm Team Tank.
That's not gonna happen with December Doug. I mean, the man's 13-5 with this record right now with backups. And
but why do you
I hope y'all know Jalen Hurts broke a record today.
For what?
Jalen Hurts became the first rookie quarterback in franchise history to have 4 total touchdowns in a single game.
Oh wow. Jesus.
Yep.
For total touchdowns or
4 total.
Oh, okay.
Because he had 3 passing and a rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to him, man.
You got it. You can't. It's hard to hate on that man. It's hard. You can't hate on him. Like he's a nice. And I was looking while I was in the chat. I was like looking at the tweets. He was like he said in his press conference, I didn't do good enough. After they took that look, the hell you did do good enough. Just the team. I feel bad for Hurts because Hurts is not going to be great. We're going to fail him just as we failed once if the same people are here. If Howie's here, if Doug is here.
That's only if they're the ones making the decisions.
If everything stays the same.
I think after this year, Jeffrey Lurie's learned his lesson.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and I'm not sure y'all probably heard of this. Doug said, and I quote, the only way you can mess pretty much okay, I'm not gonna quote, but pretty much what he said was the only way you can mess up Carson Wentz is if we mess him up. Well, god damn it, you did it. So clap it up for Doug.
Who was he talking to again? I forgot.
He was talking to a GM for the Niners.
He was talking to somebody.
He was talking to a GM to the Niners.
Right. Who is that? Is that Lynch? John Lynch?
I don't know who it is.
I don't know who his name is, but nonetheless, oh my God, that video was not age well. That video was not age well when you think about it.
At all,
man. But I think I'm gonna call this live stream a day, man.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you guys for coming on and locking in with me, dog. Y'all the best, man. Y'all the best. Listen, like we have some bright things to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get past this off season. This off season is going to be a doozy. This off season is going to be a doozy. You know what I mean? Shout out to Infamous 2K. Shout out to Wendy End Zone. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that came to the live stream. Golden Reactions. Eagle has landed. I Drip. Sports Reels. You know what I'm saying? Jersey Kid 856. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful for you guys coming through and showing me love. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Happy holidays. Flag goes fly. There's only one love, man. Let's finish the season out with a bang. Take care, you guys.
Appreciate your time, man.